What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now, today we've got the man Brad Hogg again. World Test Championship number 2. India and Pakistan. Do they have an advantage? Well, we've got the one and only Mr. Bradley Hogg. Going to talk us through it. Now, I did speak about this in my own review. I did say that Pakistan had quite a big advantage with how the fixtures were. And I thought India, they're away to their home matches. It was a bit shifty in there for Pakistan, It's like they really want to see an India versus Pakistan final, don't they? Which, everyone would love to see. But as an Australian, I would love to see Australia in it. But hey, let's check it out. Let's go.
Championship 2 is about to get underway. So what
original link's always in the description. I have to say that.
are your team's chances? That's what we're discussing on Hogg's Vlog.
Alrighty, Hoggy. Let's go. What has the man Hogg got today? Come on, Bradley.
There are 9 teams participating in the World Test Match Championship, and we're going to go through the fixtures and see what are the pros and cons of each team's calendar. So let's firstly go on in alphabetical order, and we'll go with Australia first. Not because I'm Australian, because it's in the alphabetical order. Now, Australia, they play 50% of their games against the top teams, and they also play 10 games at home and 8 games away. There are the calendars there. But the issue that they have is that they play Pakistan, Sri Lanka and India away. So those 3 teams are on subcontinent conditions, and Australia don't do well there. So they've got to make sure they maximise.
Alright, if you're just seeing a little cut in the video, it's because the audio messed up and it all went quiet. So we're back. Never mind.
I think England are just too good to allow that happen. So if we look at last year's percentage wins, 67% of the wins, percent of wins to losses got you a position in the final. So Australia need to win 12 games. So that's going to be very difficult when 8 of those games are away on subcontinent conditions.
Look, again, if you guys want to see my full opinions and you want to watch my review on the every team's fixture, I've got a video from about a week or 2 ago where I reviewed every, away and home series for every country. And I spoke about how if Australia's to make a final, we have to beat, this Sri Lanka has to be a 2-0 our favour. We have to try and win a game against Pakistan, and we've got to at least win 1 to 2 games against India. Otherwise, we are literally zero hope.
So they're going to have a tough ride about it. Now, I'm going to give my ladder out the end of it. So this is the pros and cons. Now, let's go to Bangladesh. Now, it's a subcontinent team. Now, they play all subcontinent teams on their home soil, and they play Western teams away, as we can see up there. So, and they play 6 home games, 6 away games. They don't play Australia or England, so they've got an advantage there of not playing 2 of the top 4 teams. But because they're playing Western teams away from their home soil, I can't see Bangladesh threatening anyone to get into the final at the end of the year. Now, England, they've got the most games in the World Test Match Championship 2 of 21 games.
Damn.
Where they need to win, what amount of games they need to win is 14 wins to reach that 67% percentage.
At home, they need a win.
That we saw last
all of those
to get in this year's final. But they've got a bit of an issue. They play India at home, and for me, this is the series that will set England up and decide their fate whether they're going to play in the final.
I've been saying that, Hoggy.
After 2 years or not. If they can dominate India and win 4 of those 5 test matches and not allow India to win, have a draw in that 5th test match, that sets them up perfectly. And then they've got to beat Australia at least twice on Australian soil to have a chance of getting in that World.
To be honest, I think when England comes here, we will win 4-0. Normally, it rains in the Sydney Test, so I'm not going to count that fucking test match in Sydney. But I think we'll comfortably beat England on home soil,
Test
to be honest.
Championship. So I don't think they'll let New Zealand do what they did to them last time. New Zealand have beaten them in the last 4 test matches. Twice on their home soil.
That's bad.
So I think they'll want to rectify that. So New Zealand will be under the pump. And I don't think South Africa is strong enough. So they'll have dominance on their home soil. And Australia, West Indies, Pakistan away, I think they'll win a couple of test matches there. They don't play Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, 2 of the weakest teams, which will be be an issue for England. Rightio,
That's
now
lucky.
we move on to India.
Oh, wait, no.
India-
Well, wait. I mean, that's unlucky. I was meant to say that's unlucky. So they don't play Bangladesh or Sri Lanka. Damn. England got fucked over.
Which will be an issue. Games of which 13 games they will need to win to get in the World Test Match Championship final. 9 games are at home. The good thing about these games is that they are playing Western teams on their home soil, where they have a huge advantage and they've had a lot of success. So they've got New Zealand, Australia, but they've also got Sri Lanka there, which should be a lay-down misère. What that means is easy wins to India on their home soil. But away, England is the big clash for them. This is where their nightmare could begin in this World Test Match Championship Series. If they don't stand up against England, they're on the back foot early and they'll have to catch up to try and win those 13 games out of 19. So the big series there.
They need to win at least one or two of them.
They've got South Africa and Bangladesh away. Bangladesh they should beat on home soil. South Africa, that will be up and down. I think that will be about a 1 or 2-1 test series, and I think India at the moment where South Africa are might get over there. They don't play the West Indies or Pakistan. Obviously they don't play Pakistan. And next team we're going to look at is New Zealand. Now
we've got New Zealand, and then we'll have Pakistan. And after he talks about Pakistan, we're going to finish the video because, to be honest, I don't really care about South Africa, Sri Lanka, West Indies. And we'll skip right to his predictions
big
after these two.
Opportunity of getting in the World Test Match Championship final again. Now, they do have home ground advantage against 3 teams. 2 of them are Bangladesh and Sri Lanka.
And South Africa. Who the fuck set these fixtures up? Why do they play Bangladesh, South Africa, and Sri Lanka at home? They're going to win 6. So that's already 6 test matches. And then they play India, England, Pakistan away. Now, they're actually not a bad subcontinent team. I mean, they play... when was the last time New Zealand played in the UAE? Was that 2017? Trying to remember.
Aren't travelling too well at the moment, and I think they can really dominate there. So those 6 games at home, out of 13, I think they've got a big advantage there to really leapfrog. Remember, they only need to win 9 games. And when they go away, India for those 2 test matches is going to be very tough for them. And then they've got England and Pakistan, which for me will be a deciding factor. But because of their home ground advantage and they've had that success away before, I think they're a big chance of getting into the World Test Match.
That's crazy. Wait, did Hoggy say they only need to win 8 games or 9 games? Because let's be honest, let's pencil in. That's 6 wins right there. 2, 4, 6. Yep, good math. And then they've only got to, they probably can take a game off Pakistan. And as long as they take a game off in England and in India, or at least 2 off in England, they're going to make the final comfortable.
They don't play West Indies or Australia, which is good for them.
Yeah, they don't play us.
Rightio, let's go to Pakistan. This is an interesting one. We know that Pakistan are always up and down. They've got 14 games, so they'll probably have to win around about 9-10 games to get into the final.
They're actually a chance to do it as well.
What I like about Pakistan is they play the Western teams at home. Australia, New Zealand and England. That is a huge advantage. And people talk about doctoring the pitches to favour the home team. Will Pakistan do this?
They do.
To be able to do it, you've got to give yourself the home ground advantage. The opposition teams have to come and sort themselves out and try and adapt to those conditions. With Pakistan, when they go away, they're playing mostly Asian countries. When they go to the West Indies, that will be a big one. What type of wickets are the West Indies going to have there? Fast, bouncy tracks, or they continue to bring the spinners into play as well, with a little bit of wear and tear over there. That will be the interesting one for Pakistan. But I can see them beating Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. They don't play India or South Africa. So for me, Bangladesh have got a huge opportunity. But in saying that, when they're playing at home, since 2000, they've only got a 50% win percentage on their home ground. So they'll have to improve that against the Western countries.
Okay.
Right, let's go to South Africa.
Okay, we don't really care about South Africa. Sorry there, Hoggy. Or Sri Lanka or the West Indies, to be real honest with you. Let's go to the predictions, ladies and gentlemen.
That will be India, Pakistan to play in the final, New Zealand 3, Australia 4, England 5, and then we've finished it off with the West Indies.
Hoggy, wow, Hoggy. I mean, yes, my prediction is probably India and Pakistan in the final, if I'm being realistic. But you know what? I believe in my home country, Brad. Australia versus India in the final. Pencil it in. It's happening. Come back to this video in 2 years and screen record this. Send it to me. And I'm going to say, you know what? I told you so. Australia versus India will be the final. I don't think Pakistan... I think Pakistan will crumble. This is the easiest opportunity Pakistan has ever had to make any big final ever. And they will crumble. They will feel the pressure. They will get too cocky. All you have to do is get out Babar Azam and you win a match against Pakistan, if I'm being really honest. Especially in test matches. But hey, that is going to cap it off, guys. Shout out to the man Brad Hogg. Original links are always in the description. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think will be in the final? What is your prediction for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams? Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.